This is video 6 in the blood vessel series. We will be beginning the veins. And so what I want you to remember first is that the veins carry blood towards the heart. So the systemic veins are going to be blue or deoxygenated. They will be low in oxygen and high in carbon dioxide. So if we start with the head, this picture in our lab manual here, we are only going to begin with just the jugulars. So here you see the internal jugular vein and the external jugular veins. And those are carrying deoxygenated blood from the head down into, it's going to meet the subclavian vein here. So this would be the right subclavian vein. And that's going to then merge into the right brachiocephalic vein, which will then become the superior vena cava as it merges with the left brachiocephalic vein. So I'm going to show you that from an anterior view. Here's our anterior view. Here we go. So again, here's where the heart's been removed, of course, but we're carrying blood back towards the heart. So if we start here, we have the right and left internal jugular veins. They're the ones that are more medial here, and they are deeper up in the head. And then more superficial, or on the lateral side, we have the right and left external jugular veins. They are carrying deoxygenated blood from the head here to meet the left subclavian vein on the left side, of course the right subclavian vein on the right. Those subclavians then, as they merge with those jugulars, will form the brachiocephalic veins. We have a right and a left brachiocephalic vein. Both of those come together to form that superior vena cava, which returns deoxygenated blood to the right atrium. So remember, in the arterial system, we did not have a right and left brachiocephalic artery. What we had was a single brachiocephalic trunk. That was the first branch on the right side of that aortic arch. So it's a little bit different in the venous system. Now what we're going to see in the arm, we'll see some differences here as well. Let's look at some of the similarities between the venous system in the arms and the arterial system in the arms. And that begins with the radial and ulnar veins. So we have a right radial and a right ulnar vein, and they are going to return deoxygenated blood from this hand and up through the arm, and they are going to pair or merge or come together right there to form the brachial vein. Now the brachial vein is not labeled till we get way up there, but this is the brachial vein where the radial and ulnar veins merge together. Now that brachial vein is then going to merge with this vessel here. This is the right basilic vein. That right basilic vein runs all the way down the medial side of the arm, merges with the brachial to form the right axillary vein. On the lateral side, you see this right cephalic vein. All the way along here, it's referred to as cephalic. That cephalic vein is going to merge with the axillary vein to form the subclavian vein. So this is the right subclavian vein. One more vessel that we see here in the venous system in the arm, right in front of the elbow, connecting that cephalic with the basilic, and that is the median cubital vein. So if we look at this in an unlabeled picture, we start with the head, so let's go ahead and work with the head here. We have the external jugular vein coming down, the internal jugular vein, and those are coming into and meeting this subclavian vein here, and then becoming the brachiocephalic vein here, merging with that to form, with the left one to form the superior vena cava. Looking at the front view makes that a little bit more clear. Again, we have the external jugular vein, internal jugular vein. This is the subclavian vein coming together. Then we're going to have the right brachiocephalic vein, left brachiocephalic vein coming together to form the superior vena cava, which brings deoxygenated blood to the right side of the heart, specifically that right atrium. So the unlabeled vessels here in the arm. Let's go ahead and we'll start with the radial and the ulnar like we did with the labeled picture. So this is the right radial vein. This is the right ulnar vein. As they come together, we get the right brachial vein. The right brachial is going to merge with this long vessel that runs along the medial side of the arm, which this would be the right basilic vein, merging with the brachial to form, again, the right axillary vein. This is the right cephalic vein, returning blood, again, this direction, back towards the heart, median cubital vein across the front. This cephalic vein will merge with the axillary vein to form the subclavian vein.